Behind me, trends in blockchain. This is the panel, but maybe the audience. I know Christian has a question to someone, might have some other questions around this. So let's do it like this. And I know you are not prepared at all, and this is what I love. If you give me a short is not many words, description of what you think trends in blockchain are this or next year. Andre, you did a speech in this with that direction. You may start.
Well, thank you very much. The trends, yeah, totally agree with many financial services is CDBCs. Yeah. Actually, there are stable coins and CDBCs. That's the trend actually in blockchain technologies. If you see that you talk with Luxembourg or many financial countries, CDBCs is that's actually the trend for this and for the next year. I will not say blockchain is dead. That's not true. But if you see NFT solutions, if you see many other things, it's always behind treasuries. If you see today, I think this is the all-time high of Ethereum today. If you see that, many people invest in these technologies only to get money. That's all. There is no use case behind that, and that's not good for the blockchain technology. On the other hand, maybe blockchain is dead in this solution, to find any use cases. Financial sector is the trend for that, for this year and for next year.
Interesting topic. I think political wise, we see how stable coins get into the head of many politicians with ugly haircuts and other things like this. So from there, Michael, trends in blockchain maybe into direction of world mapping or overall?
Yeah, I think overall we've definitely seen a bit of an oversteer in the direction of over gambling and with the meme coins and all of the hype around it. I mean, that's why people are just scared to get in. But I think it will, I think that will change over time for sure. People from Web2 will realize that, their accounts are getting shadow banned. They're not getting the visibility from it, especially on Hive, becoming more active over the recent year. It's, it just opened my eyes way more because you get to connect to people from around the world way quicker than if you would try to do the same thing on Web2, for example. For example, if you make a YouTube post, good luck, that's going to take a lot of work to get the same visibility compared to Hive. Other trends, I mean, I think we're going to see a surge and spike in Web2 users. We're seeing the trend going up right now, and I think it will continue.
Yeah, fully agree with that direction. Damian, some negative trends, or you said you like to be a little bit more shaky?
Well, I'd say the overall trend currently is general cynicism in where crypto is going. Well, I mean, again, it's very hard to guess what the next meta will be. For the last bull market, we had NFTs. For the beginning of this one, if we still consider it ongoing, we had meme coins, which ties into the cynicism. It's always focused on short-term gains currently, and if I'm going to tie it to VSC, for example, and cross-chain, that would be what I would consider a necessary trend to enter the crypto ecosystem for us to move towards more mainstream adoption without dealing with these core issues tied to the fundamentals of how cryptocurrency ecosystems work. That's not going to be possible. And then again, you have these AI tokens, AI in general in crypto, that are still hard to justify to an organization for. They're basically being used as kind of a funding mechanism instead of actually using the blockchain in some kind of utilitarian manner. So even that trend that was present also at the beginning of this year is still kind of questionable in my mind. So I'm not sure where we're going at this point. We're gonna have to see if the ETFs will remain the kind of the main story of this cycle. I'm hoping that's not gonna be the case.
I want to add that. You're totally right. Yeah, I think it's in this cycle. It's ETF driven. Yeah, it's not normal cycle because we see it's a Bitcoin cycle. Yeah. It's come from the normal fiat money, go to the Bitcoin, go to Ethereum, go to the small cap coins, and maybe to the meme coins. Yeah. Maybe AI can help to drive blockchain technology. Because if you set up an AI technology, you have not the trust, is this true, what's coming up from the AI? And maybe blockchain technology can help to make a proof of trust level for AI. We see this small things there, and maybe that can help to have another cycle for blockchain to combine AI and blockchain technologies together. Yeah? One thing creative, one thing trust. Maybe that's the next idea of that.
I saw already in audience some hands up, and Sorin is full of questions, I know.
Thank you to the panelists. Thank you to you, Detlef. I have a view that is, let's say, quite present in my mind, that that would be another trend I want to have the opinion of the panelists about, namely the trend of blockchain and the world of laws and regulations coming together in a way. So approaching one of the other. So we all know that we speak about blockchain mainly because Bitcoin was a reaction to failures that were perceived in the way that laws and regulations managed to keep our societies clean and honest. And there was a clear feeling that another mechanism was needed. And this technology initially started as something that can create trust and keep people honest, acting honestly without the need of the law. And now I feel that with MiCA in Europe and with the Clarity Act and Genius Act in the US, more and more legislations are coming toward blockchain and taking, let's say, showing awareness of blockchain. And on the other hand, I believe that in blockchain, one of the powerful trends that we can discuss is projects that tend a hand toward the efforts that are shown in the from the law world and the regulations world. So they are making, so the old world is making regulations for blockchain, and perhaps the blockchain world that was so keeping us remote from the laws, perhaps we should see more projects, and we will see more projects that try to play the game of laws and regulations. What do you guys think?
As this was a little bit longer question, could you drill it down to one sentence that I have these gentlemen's answer that directly? The description was perfect, but short.
Do you think we will see more projects in the blockchain world that will try to be aware and accommodate the laws that are being given for us?
Perfect.
Very simple. No. Very simple. The reason is nobody wants that. No country, no economy, no government wants that. Because we are living, you're totally right, we're living in an old world. And if you change that to an free world like blockchain technologies, like a decentralization, and many people can choose your own country, your own environment, you bring freedom, you bring other social impacts to these people. And my feeling is the government don't want that. You're right. Every people here in the room wants to have that, because we are a little bit nerdy and we are thinking about other technologies, other ideas of the world. But to be fair, the government don't want that. And that's the reason why we have not the freedom of Führerscheine on driver license on the blockchain. We have not the government ideas on the blockchain. That will not happen. Maybe in 10 years. My feeling is not tomorrow.
What I think is going to happen is, I mean, I personally don't have an issue with these laws and regulations. Some people do. I think they're going to be kind of an invitation from legacy companies, legacy systems to come into blockchain. The blockchain itself, the blockchain industry at its core is going to keep separate in many ways. You can see that from the recent stablecoin regulations that came out. Even if you take an example with HBD and Hive, Hive in many ways isn't affected. This kind of focuses only on centralized stablecoins. So, but I'm also expecting to see a lot of more crackdowns, because even though we like to discuss decentralization in the crypto industry, a lot of these projects aren't decentralized at all. So a lot of these regulations could apply to them, and we're going to see a lot of, let's call it crying on-chain and off-chain from a lot of these different companies that claim to be one thing while they're entirely centralized or have, small operator sets, or, basically aren't as what they're presenting themselves to be. So in many ways, the, let's call it CT, or the crypto community online, is going to make waves and a lot of discussion around this problem. So that's kind of my opinion on what's happening.
I think power and control is just human nature, and people will definitely try to put regulations in, and it's going to be really our job to make it in the right way. And we have to stay strong and have to stay together.
And we all shouldn't forget, every few years we have elections. And maybe crypto law, crypto activity will soon be a part with other countries, maybe not. Looking to the east.
Not, or you have different things about election.
Who buy?
We live in an industrial and good environment in the middle of Europe or in US or in Asia. If you are living in Africa, in South America, you have different problems. And from my point of view, blockchain technology is made for these people, for this country. Yeah.
On Hive, we have several countries where this already started. If you look to Venezuela, where many people are active with some little shops using HBD and other things, as a start.
Yeah, for sure.
As we all went to the lovely city of Split last year, a little coffee shop said, well, I do it. A day later, it was crowded with people paying with that funny money stuff, crypto. And the owner said, well, what's going on here? So the world is changing, and the governments are still in a different way thinking. So let's see what it will end up. Having this in mind, any other questions from the audience? Michael. Now it's way more easy with two microphones on a microphone.
Hi, what do you see in kind of usability? Everybody knows using Hive is not as easy. And what do you see in trends, how get it easy, like using Instagram or Facebook or whatever?
Good question, but don't steal the speech from Christine.
I'll go. I mean, I don't want to give away too much from the presentation that I'm going to hold, but that's something that we at VSC are working very diligently at. And it's tied to wallet interoperability, communication between blockchains, ease of transactions or transfers of value between different blockchains, which isn't currently possible. There are some bridge solutions, they're mostly centralized, but definitely something that has to be worked on. That will be an obstacle for getting into the mainstream, especially if you take into account that us crypto users are kind of used to the friction that exists in crypto, the obstacles. Web 2 at the same time is kind of dealt with that in a good way. So we have to kind of get to that level of user experience. Again, I'm starting to go into my own presentation a bit, so that's kind of what I feel in a short viewpoints when it comes to usability in crypto. We have to reduce or work on the user experience that's tied to the core issues that exist to functioning cryptocurrency ecosystems right now.
I'm just gonna keep it, I think, short and simple. Phones sucked 20 years ago, and we managed to get through it. And now they're actually really complicated, and I think we'll find solutions for it. And it's definitely a big pain point that I agree we have to work on.
We need the killer application for blockchain, yeah, at the end. I'm not sure, blockchain is, from my view, is infrastructure. But we need on top on that, we need the application for us together. And if we found that, and I don't know, maybe is it on Hive, maybe is it on other blockchain technologies, we must found this killer application for us. And then we are going into a massive growing. And maybe we see that tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, we have social apps, we have many other things, but if I see only the coding of we see Web 2 applications and bring it back to Web 3 back, or we port it to Web 3, and it's not a real use case. The currencies of blockchain is usage, and if you have usage in the blockchain technology, then we are growing. Maybe we see that next year. I don't know. Maybe never. I don't know.
As you see, all these folks are really hungry. So we will make a break now, but before the thank you. Thank you for your information. Thank you for your future thinking thoughts about all the stuff. We have 2 more panels in a day, but now we have a little break. But before we do the little break, you know, an event like this deserves a blue shirt, t-shirt, whatever. So there are, and this is mainly for the people who look from the far distance, to move yourself next time to that place or to another place where a Hive event took place. Maybe you go to the Hive Fest to Kuala Lumpur or to other places, because everyone now gets a lovely blue t-shirt. Rolly, come to stage, because we have the creator of this as well here, and this is what I so enjoy on Hive. You look around, you find people who can do things. So this gentleman here came all the way from Prague with a car and a friend to bring us this handmade t-shirts, which he did, I don't know, in your bathroom or bedroom or somewhere else.
Actually, it was a kitchen.
Actually, so many thanks, and this is community. So I looked around to have some event shirts, and he showed up and said, well, I can do it if you like. So we have a chit chat, some days forward, backwards, forwards, weeks, yeah. And we ended up with something nice. So everyone here in the audience will as well get a nice blue shirt for lunch.